And the next speaker is Ryan Steele, and I'm just gonna take a quick moment and just share with you a tiny bit about Ryan. So Ryan is with Kansas State University Foundation, and he's a young fundraiser who is, oh, I love this, an imaginative advancement professional whose early career has focused on stewardship and the donor experience. Yes, Ryan, awesome. And I have seen this one too, and I have to tell you that if you don't adapt this idea that Ryan is going to talk about, I am absolutely going to, because it's again, we're talking about an amazing offer. Ryan's going to talk about the Pete Buttigieg campaign in a way that you guys have never seen before. Very cool. I'm going to give you Ryan Steele.
Hello, I'm Ryan Steele, and I work in the fundraising industry in the United States. And I'm going to assume that most, if not all of you, when giving to charity, are giving nice whole amounts like these: $15, $50, or maybe even $100. But have you ever given $18, $73, or $212? I'm guessing not, and if so, maybe by accident. But that's exactly what the Pete Buttigieg campaign asked their supporters to do during the fundraising campaign I wish I'd thought of, the Pete for America Leaderboard Challenge. A little background. Pete Buttigieg was a presidential hopeful in the 2020 election cycle for the presidency of the United States. And like all American political campaigns, fundraising is a top priority, especially around the many ever important deadlines. To raise money quickly in the late stages of the campaign, Pete turned giving into a game with the Leaderboard Challenge. The Leaderboard Challenge was a digital fundraising effort that utilized the theme of a game in which donation amounts were consecutively listed on a leaderboard in dollar increments from $1 to $2,800, the maximum amount allowed for individual contributions to a political candidate in the United States. Each individual amount was up for grabs, and the first supporter to donate that specific amount, or high score as they referred to it, would be listed on the leaderboard with their name and location. If another supporter beat you to it, it was game over. Well, kind of. Your donation was, of course, still accepted, but your name would not make it on the leaderboard. Instead, when the challenge was complete, in addition to those that made it on the leaderboard, they featured the names of all supporters who contributed during the game. To further incentivize gifts and to celebrate friendly competition, the leaderboard cleverly highlighted at the top of the page the most recent player, the highest score, and the next amount available. It's simple, yet brilliant. And while the idea on its own merit is great, it's brilliant for more reason than one. It's brilliant for 3 reasons, actually: its use of gamification, the engagement sparked, and its adaptability. The Leaderboard Challenge was launched in late February of 2020, just ahead of an important campaign milestone where having extra monetary support was crucial. The campaign needed to create excitement and urgency for support in a short time period, and through gamification, they did just that. Because the idea created a sense of urgency to get your name on the leaderboard, supporters flocked to the idea to get a chance at being listed. The intentional use of a theme created a sense of playfulness, making giving fun. Best of all, if all the slots were filled on the leaderboard, the effort would have raised over $3.9 million. Incredible. And just like the genius of the gamification, there was a stellar approach to how the challenge played on social media, and it played well. Chasten, Pete's husband, put out a tweet to engage supporters asking someone to donate $616 because he and Pete got married on June 16th. Within minutes, there were plenty of likes and retweets. But more importantly, somebody took him up on his challenge and donated $616. With momentum, why stop there? Chasten thanked the donor via Twitter and started a thread asking for another meaningful number. It was quickly grabbed as well, and the process happened again and again. This social engagement turned the gamification personal, and it was twofold. Not only was engagement sparked and more people driven to the leaderboard to give, but supporters were also now giving their own meaningful amounts and sharing on social media, furthering the reach of the campaign. A fringe benefit of this engagement was that it inspired supporters to make contributions even if it didn't put them on the leaderboard. For example, this music teacher who gave what they could, $6.16, in response to Chasten's tweet asking for $616. Ultimately, this social engagement, coupled with gamification, had supporters giving quickly and giving more than they would have if it were just a regular giving website with a clever marketing pitch. The challenge raised more money and did so in a personal way that sparked engagement. But don't take my word for it. Check out these tweets from supporters in response. From their own words, you can see that people were saying that even though they gave moments ago on the regular campaign website, the gamification drew them to support again. You can also see that people who were initially going to give a smaller amount increased their support because the amount they were going to give was taken on the leaderboard, but they still wanted to participate. This dynamic duo of gamification and meaningful social media engagement paid dividends for the cause. And while that is all great, the best fundraising ideas are all the better when they are adaptable. And this idea is just that. This idea could be relatively simple to emulate. Think about it. A great way to use the leaderboard concept would be to incorporate it into a giving day where you're trying to garner support in a short time period, or even as part of your organization's Giving Tuesday fundraising efforts. If you've got the budget, create a sleek branded site like Pete's and couple it with a social media effort. If you're short on budget or have a small but mighty staff, you could create a social media campaign around giving a meaningful amount and use your already created website. The options are endless and advantages plentiful. And just think of the opportunity to be able to thank your donors in such a special way as you now know what inspired their donation amount. Since I saw this idea just a little under a year ago, I haven't been able to get it out of my head. And I'm not sure about you, but a fundraising campaign that raises more money, sparks social media engagement, is adaptable, and one you can't get out of your head, well, that's an idea worthy of saying, I wish I'd thought of that.
Again, I'm just going to make the mind blown thing every time somebody gets off. It's amazing.
One of those things that Rakesh had where we're just like, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at something super dope. He just crushed it. Like, that was a Donkey Kong moment. That was amazing. I love that. Love that.
Yeah, totally. And the behavioral science, like behind the leaderboard, people picking dates that are meaningful to them. It just, small or large gifts, the music teacher, like, you just cannot, there's just so much to use there and adapt.
Yes, absolutely.
And I believe we have Ryan. I think we can bring Ryan on for Q&A. Yes? Yay, there he is, Ryan. Woo, nice job.
People are loving you, Ryan.
Great. As I said, it's simple yet brilliant.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot of people are asking, the big question is, what software platform was used?
My assumption is that they probably used internal staff and created that themselves. I'm not sure that they probably used an external software company. But like I said, it's adaptable. I'm sure there are software companies out there who can make it happen. And if not, sort of modify and
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that someone wanted to know was, do you know where the names of the supporters were published?
Yeah,
just to circle back.
Yeah, during the challenge itself, they were there listed on the leaderboard. And then I didn't catch the end of the campaign myself, and it's no longer live, but I'm pretty certain that they left all those there and then sort of had a montage of the rest of the names of people who didn't make it on the leaderboard but did give.
Yeah. I like how you also at the end, you sort of transitioned over to give people ways that they could make that adaptable for their organization. Just really stellar. I love that.
Yeah, especially for small organizations, that was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, the best ideas are adaptable, and when we can copy and share, it makes the whole industry better.
Yeah. And the world. That's what we're
That's
after
right,
here.
exactly.
So one other question somebody said, it looks amazing on mobile. Do you know how payments were being taken?
So I know that I believe you could give via Apple Pay, and then I think also through Act Blue, which I believe is kind of the way in which American political campaigns is kind of the processing that is kind of required to be used, I think.
Yeah.
But I do believe Apple Pay was also an option, but just sort of a general giving form.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Somebody just said in the comment chat box, love Act Blue. So, so I mean, I think, are you going to hang out on the group chat box for a little bit, Ryan?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
there. If anybody's got other questions, happy to answer them.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that really stellar presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for the opportunity.
Take care.